Okay, so welcome back, guys. So I ordered the horseshoes. These are what they call insulators or spacers, the coil spring spacers. So that, according to their website, and we'll find out, this is supposed to give you about 1.5 inches of lift. So where I'm already slammed down to my tire, that should put me just about right. You know, and I've gotten a few other questions that some people probably want to know. Is they wonder why I don't do the opening anymore. The music, apparently YouTube doesn't like me using the music, even though it's free, and from the guy it's free to use and everything. But YouTube said, well, if I ever do make money, which I don't make money from this channel yet, or anything, I don't know. They said it'd be any monetary income would go to him instead of me. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm just not going to use it anymore. So I'll just jump straight into my projects. Even though I did like the opening and stuff like that, but like I said, and I'm not making any money off this channel anyway. You have to have like 10,000 followers just to, make any decent money, from what I hear anyway. And nobody wants to watch my ass anyway. But I was watching I'm a car guy. We're all car guys, I'm sure. But they were, I've been watching a few videos and they talk about doing budget builds, I don't think there's no such thing as a budget build anymore. A lot of it's just because, parts cost too much. Yeah, it might be a budget build for, you might be saving money on your, you might be saving money on your labor and everything like that, but the parts are just costing too much. Also, so just an example, there was I don't know what channel it was. No, I'm not dogging on them or anything like that. I'm just talking about the reality of it. But they took a Subaru, I think it was not WRX, but what's the other tiny little sports car. And anyway, they took it and they're like, oh, we're going to do a budget build. And, they put in a whole different engine and, and all these other things to do this so-called budget build. Well, after all said and done, it came to like $32,000 that they spent. And that includes the car. They got the car for like $6,000 and something like that. So, so my point is it's just not, when you think budget build, there really isn't a budget build. Because like I said, a lot of the parts cost a lot. And it depends on, I guess, what you're trying to do. And how much you want to spend to try to do. So, car hobbies are expensive. Very expensive. And to tell you the truth, there for a while, I was taking pay cut after pay cut after pay cut, and I'm like going, oh my gosh, I thought I was kind of screwed there for a little bit, And, and everything just started breaking down on me. Like literally everything, like the AC and everything went out, So like to have the whole HVAC replaced, that was like, just to have the HVAC replaced was like $13,000, That's something that I can't do myself. I have limitations to things I can do. So, you know, so like that. I had to buy like all new tires for, you know, the car, for all the cars and everything. Just, you know, everything was just breaking down, and other car problems with my dailies and stuff like that. So started really adding up. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, it ate through all my savings and all that, and you know, kind of makes you nervous. So, but now I'm finally back on track, you know, to hopefully, you know, start getting everything sorted and figured out. But my point is, though, is that you know, a car hobby is very expensive, and so the car hobby, it can drain and put a damper on your everyday living situation. So you kind of have to be careful with it. You know what I'm saying? It is not a cheap hobby at all. Okay. All right. Let's see. One socket just rolled away. Let me get that first, and so then we'll take this all apart again, and we'll put those spacers on the bottom. So basically, these lay flat into the groove in the bottom there. They're both the same, and so then the spring just sits on top of it. And I'm getting pretty quick at this, so. All right, let me grab my socket and everything, and then I'll switch it out. Yeah, I'm getting really fast at changing these. That took like maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, I've done it too many times back and forth. So even if you do screw up, it becomes faster, you know. So now you know exactly what to do and everything. So now go do the other side, and then we'll drop it and see what happens. All right, there we go. That's where I want it. So if you look, it's an inch. Let's see, it's almost 1.5 inches exact. Okay, on this side sits a little higher, but I am not gonna fucking worry about it, because it looks like almost 2 inches, but it's not. It's actually, come on, get it on the tire. It's about 1.75 inches. So close enough, you know, because after I drive it a little bit, and it might settle just a little bit more on that one side. So, but anyway, that looks much better. The slam looked freaking awesome. Trust me, I wanted to keep it slammed, but it's just not practical. It would destroy the shocks and everything else, you know, from bottoming out too much. So, but that's the stance that I want. Let's see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay. So, trying to get a good angle here. So anyway, that's how I want it there. I think that looks really good. Looks just right. Now this is just my preference. Just my preference. I like that little bit of tire just sticking out. Okay. Like I said, I have to fix that one, because whoever did that screwed it up. All right. So I like that look. It just kind of flows. For me, it just flows kind of, you know, it just looks right to me. Okay. To everybody else, you know, everybody else has a different style, different taste. And same with this side. I think it just looks really good. Sorry, there's more junk on this side, so I can't really. And the light is shining, but see, this side, nice and flat. And I have to go fix that. The other side, because the other side just comes out. Yeah, of course, I'll show you over here again, in case you didn't see my other videos. So whoever did the body on this one, you can see just, I mean, look how drastic it just Whoop. That's going to drive me insane. So I am going to fix that. All right, we got our ride height where I want it. I think it looks pretty good, especially in the back. The back before, I don't know if you remember, it was sitting crazy high, and so that looks just much better. And the suspension feels really good. I mean, I can't really turn because I still gotta cut my cut my body a little bit to make sure the wheels turn in and out. But just driving it in and out, it's solid. It feels super solid. I can already tell that just that little bit that I did for suspension upgrade is going to be a huge difference. When you can feel it that much just by driving it in and out, and then of course I got that little bump where the little walkway is, the little for the water, and I tried to hit that as hard as possible, and it doesn't bottom out, doesn't do nothing like that. All right, and so we got her. Okay, so now next step is to make sure my wheels can clear when I turn. So we're going to be doing some body modification here. It's not going to be anything huge or drastic because it's really close to just fitting. I think all I'm going to have to do is just trim the front a little bit and bring it out. Other than that, I don't think I'm going to have to do a whole lot. So we're going to... Okay, so that's our next just by looking at it, we can kind of see where we need to cut and come in. So see how I got this arch here. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back a little bit because see when it comes down, it actually gives me more room. Okay, so I don't really have to worry about all that, but I am gonna have to cut it because I want to kind of just go along here and just make it a little bit more, how would you say, like more, just bring out the arch more rainbowed out, I guess, bowed out, because it's barely, I mean, look at that, barely. So from right here, I think what I'll do is I'll cut and I'll come up this way and just make a really rough cut just to see what's going to happen. I have to think about this for a minute, but that's basically what I'm going to do. So this is just going to come more straight up and create an arch this way. The back might clear. I don't know. We have to make sure that we get this to where it'll go in. All right, first. So literally just right there. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Once again, I just want to touch real quick before I start getting on this, what's on my mind. So anyway, some of these other YouTube channels, they have a lot of money, and I don't have money. I'd like to have this all done and everything, and just spend the big bucks. They have sponsorships and all that. Van Steel, if you're listening, if you want to sponsor me and get me some coilovers and a whole new suspension setup, awesome. But I don't expect it. I don't make any money off the YouTube or anything. So I'm showing you what it's like to basically be what real life is. If you were just going to go and do this. I'm happy for some of these YouTubers, like what's her name, Amelia Hartford or whatever her name is. I'm very happy for her. She started out with nothing, and look where she's at. That's cool. But I'm trying to be realistic. This is what it is. Costs money. I'm into this a lot. I had the cash at one point in time. I bought the car. I just paid cash for it and everything, stuff like that. And like I said, then stuff happens. Life happens sometimes. Sometimes, you know, you get sick. And I see a lot of people with their project cars, they get sick and then they have to replace them. Or sell the car, you know, because of their health. So there's issues like that also, you know. That's that's real the reality of it. You know, and then my overtime that I got during Christmas and stuff like that, I spent for like the wheels and, you know, a few other things, you know, the little suspension parts and stuff. As of right now, I really don't have any extra, but I still got other parts I need to put on. I still got to do the vinyl top because I got a white vinyl top. I still got to finish the body work in the back. I still got plenty to do. So, but now the other stuff, this is going to just be labor that you're going to see me doing. It's not going to be buying parts and going, ooh, it's all pretty, you know, and just slapping them on. So now, from now on, it's going to be more labor, you know, just me working. Parts are going to have to wait a little bit, you know. If I ever come across a little bit more money or whatever, then we could do some more. But I just wanted to kind of get to this point, to where mechanically and everything like that, it's how I want it, you know, so far. I still got that electric steering I want to put on. That might take some modification there. You know, like I said, I got a few things, but I can't be buying any more big stuff for a while. So, like I said, now it's going to be labor. Try to get the body done, painted, and I'm going just cheap paint, of course. This paint right here is just like you saw before, just spray can. You know, if I could get into a paint booth with some really nice paint, then we'll do it. You know, but till then, it is what it is. All right? Okay, I think that's the line I want to do. All the finished work, you know, all the fine finishing work will come later. But let me cut all that all the way off, and then we'll see. Because what I could do is I could just cut this end on the bottom, and then I can just follow this line and then refiberglass everything. Okay, so that's what I cut away from it so far. Let's see how close it gets. Okay, you can see I'm still hitting right, a little bit right in there, so I have to kind of arch it out a little bit right there. But now it's hitting the back of the wheel on the other side, so I can see where I need to do. So I need to come in even a little bit further, and I can see the line I need to follow. All right. I know. You're like, everybody's freaking out. Oh! Okay. And I don't know if you can see, but I do clear right through there. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. All right, and then I'll turn it out. And okay, so there it is going out. Of course, come back in. All right, and like I said, it really does. It's not going to matter much there. So, because that's not really going to hit. I have to make this this lip a little bit higher, but everything should tuck underneath there now. I might have to cut it just a little bit more. Okay. Like I said, it's going to look like shit until I figure out, you know. And so, see, now I'm hitting down in here. All right. This, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the back and see if I clear. Okay. So let me straighten it out, and I'll come over on this side and see if I could get that tire, you know, turn all the way one way, and then I'll work the other way, going the other way. Yeah. Okay, so this one's going to be easy. So now we're going to clear that. Okay. See that we cleared that one now. Now I have to go back up to the front and take some more off the front. Okay. So, whoop. All right, let's see. Okay, like I said, I know it looks like shit, but I'm just trying to get the general shape. And actually, that doesn't look half bad. That doesn't look half bad. I might be able to shape it from that. So let's see if we can completely clear it now. Ha! Still? Wow. Barely. Okay. But that fiberglass is real thick through there. I wonder if I can just take it down a little bit through there. All right. The only issue I'm having really now is right through here, but see, that fiberglass is super thick. When I laid the fiberglass there, it was just thick in that area. So once I take the tire off, I can really get in there, clean that up, make it nice and straight. Before I didn't, you know, I just didn't care. So there's that. I go ahead and turn the wheel, and you can see that's the only place that's really slower. Okay. Okay, so then that is basically where we're touching. And you know, like I said, it just looks like shit right for now, but we'll come in and shape this all up to make it look nice, okay? But I do need clearance up along here a little bit. And that was the main issue there. And then on the back, let me show you the back here. On this side, I have to, once I get this tire off, the only thing rubbing is that at the very, very bottom here. Okay, just barely, and that's no big deal. All right, I had to cut a little bit of the metal off, and just to make it to where it's going to fit. All right, and then everything else, that'll get you to where it's going to turn. And then I have to do, of course, the front side on here, and then the back side on the other side. So I gotta show you how close that is. I need to bring out the fiberglass. I need to bring it out this way a little bit, build it up that way, and then shave off the inside, okay, to make it fit. All right, and then I'm back here. I'm barely touching right down in there. Okay, the wheel's all the way turned though. This is fully clocked. All right. So I know it looks like shit. Like I said, this is just to get the fitment. All right. So that's with it turned. If you're turning right. And let me go ahead and turn the wheel the other way and show you what this is turning left. Turn the left. Same thing. I just have to get that right there down in the corner. Okay. Then over on this side, it's just that little bit that I have to take down, but it fits right through there really well. So like same thing, I'll build up fiberglass coming this way and shave down the inside, and then of course I have to reshape this all. But I mean, look at that. That just now that you can fully clock it. That tire just looks badass, I have to admit. All right, real quick, just to show you, I got plenty of room down there now. And like I said, looks stupid, but now the tire clears. I cleaned up the tire, or the fiberglass up there, so up front it should turn. This one up front, okay, I have to do some major fiberglass work right here. I have to bring it out this way. As you can see, it kind of went in this way. So I'm gonna have to do some major bringing out first, and then just bring it, you know, sand it down in, and then reshape it from there. All right. So that's the concern I have, is that up front. All right. Other than that, everything else should be just right for clearance. Alright, so far so good. Was able to take a nice tight turn, no rubbing. See what we do over a speed bump. Nice, and man, I took that bump really well. It's a lot more stiff. You know, there's not much give, but it just feels like a much different car. Easier. Feels like it's easier to turn. Steering, but now, I mean, it's easy. That is just super nice. It's a whole different animal now. purposely taking the bumps a little hard because I want to see nothing's hit. Thoroughly impressed. Whew, that about hit hard. The seat didn't bottom out. Okay, so we're gonna add the new suspension to it and get the new tires. Well, get the new tires on the back. The front, I'm gonna have to work a little bit. So I'm just kind of showing you how much, you know, how lowered I'm gonna go, how far lower I'm gonna go. So as of right now, that's how it's sitting. Sorry, I lost you there. So that's what it looks like now. Of course, I still got to do body work. Just want to show you what it looks like lowered. That's a much better stance. That's looking sick. You know, it looks really good. Now I just need to finish up the body work and everything like that. We're ready to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that front right there quite a bit. See, this one was straight. This one I'm gonna have to bring out a lot and straighten it back up. All right, I think I'll back the car in actually, that way all the stuff and dust is up front when I work on it. All right guys, thanks for following. See you next time.